Hello, dear students. Welcome to my class. This is the third class on numerical methods. Especially, we are talking about numerical solutions of equation. So, I will talk about the third method today, secant method. We talked about bisection method, method of tabulation, and this is the third one, secant method. So, firstly, we assume that the function fx of the equation fx is equal to 0 is continuously differentiable a sufficient number of times. That is, we are considering a smooth functions. Also, we assume that all the roots of the equation fx equal to 0 are simple. First, we find by the method of tabulation a sufficiently small interval a naught b naught containing the only root alpha of the equation fx such that f a naught times f b naught less than 0. That means if you draw the simple coordinate axis and this is the curve y equal to fx, then this is your suppose x naught and this may be suppose x1 and this is the root alpha, right? And look at that, fx naught and fx1 are of opposite sign. So fx naught into fx1 less than 1. Okay? Less than 0. Sorry. Less than 0 because fx naught and fx1 are of opposite sign. So this is the initial consideration. And this x naught x1 is a very small interval. You have to consider by the tabulation, or you can take the step length h equal to 0.01 and tabulate further to make it small interval. That depends on you. That can be handled by you. You can handle that situation if you want accuracy, how much degree of accuracy what you want. So next, as with Newton's method, the graph of y equal to fx is approximated by a straight line in the vicinity of the root alpha. Okay? In this case, assume that x naught and x1 are two initial estimates of the root alpha. Approximate the graph of y equal to fx by the secant line determined by x naught fx naught and x1 fx1. Let its root be denoted by x2. We hope it will be an improved approximation of alpha. So let us go to the diagram once again. Let us join these 2 points with a secant, that is chord. This chord, so next this point is x2. x2 is the second approximation. It's closer to the root alpha. So again you are considering x2 and x1, right? This is the point. So again draw a secant. So look at that, there is another point x3 and so on. Look at that, the approximation converges to the root alpha, right? So this is the concept of the secant method, and that is why the name is secant method. So connecting mainly the graph is approximated by a secant line determined by x0 fx0 and x1 fx1. So using the slope formula, the secant line we have, this is the formula. Using the slope formula, this is the form, right? And solving for x2 from this equation, we have this. This is the approximation. Okay? Now, using x1 and x2, repeat this process to obtain x3, etc. and so on. So let us generalize the formula. We can write the formula for n plus 1th approximation. So that is the approximation formula for n more than equal to 1, and this is the secant method. Okay? So this is the thing. So this is mainly you are drawing a secant and that will intersect the y-axis at a point. Again, that will take as an approximation. You can join the line and so on, right? Let's have a beautiful diagram for this method. Yeah, look at that. This is x naught, this is fx naught, and this is x1, and this is fx1. Okay, So firstly, you join the points x naught f x naught. This point is x naught f x naught, and this point is x1 f x1. So these two points are joined and they will cut at x2. Look at that, this is cut x2. Then again, this is your x2 f x2. Again, join x2 f x2 and x1 f x1. So this will cut the axis at x3 and so on. And this is the root, actually, exact root of the equation. So this approximation goes on, okay, and that's approximation converges to root alpha. So this is the secant method, and this is the geometrical interpretation, and that is why the name is secant method. So let us have some error analysis. So multiplying both sides of 1 by -1 and then by alpha to both sides, and add alpha to both sides of this equation 1. So I am multiplying this equation by -1 first and then add alpha to both the sides. So we have, this is the same, alpha minus xn plus 1 equal to alpha minus xn f xn, and this is the thing. So right hand side can be manipulated algebraically to obtain the formula, right? You can apply divided difference formula. Divided difference, this is actually divided difference formula. Third order, second order, divided difference. So you can algebraically manipulate it, this, and this will take the form 2. The quantities fxn minus 1 close bracket fxn minus 1 xn alpha and f of close bracket xn minus 1 xn are first and second order Newton divided differences. So if you go to the chapters Newton divided differences, you will see this type of things. So using the formula, we'll get, using the divided difference technique and the formula for error, you will arrive at equation 3. I'm not going into detail of this error calculation. So where already we have talked about this error calculation in Newton-Raphson bisection, all that. So with xi n, between xi n, the denominator you have xi n and the numerator you have zeta n. Xi n between xn minus 1 and xn, and f double prime xi n, zeta n between xn minus 1 xn and alpha. So using this is third order divided difference. So you have a second order derivative. You have a second order divided difference. You have a first order derivative, right? Using this error formula, we can examine the convergence of the secant method. So this error formula is very, very helpful in finding the convergence of the secant method. So we have a theorem. So what is the rate of convergence of the method? That may be the very important question. So everybody, you can try to calculate the error rate of convergence of the method. Assume fx, f prime x, f double prime x are continuous for all values of x in some interval containing alpha, and assume f dash alpha not equal to 0. Then if the initial guesses x0 and x1 are chosen sufficiently close to alpha, the iterates xn of n will converge to alpha. The order of convergence you can calculate easily by using Taylor series expansion technique, that the error of convergence will be 1.62, more than 1 but less than 2. So error of convergence of the secant method is 1.62, that is more than 1 but less than 2. So it's very fast convergence, but not fast as Newton-Raphson method. So let's have a comparison between Newton's method and the secant method. Newton's method and the secant method are closely related because you see geometrically they are the looks like a similar type of is used in the Newton's formula. If the approximation a prime is used as this formula, then the second method, you will get the second method. If you use this approximation in Newton's formula, if you substitute this, you will get the secant formula, right? We obtain the second formula. So that is the difference. The conditions of convergence are almost the same, and the error formulas are similar. And also there are two major differences. Newton's method requires two functions evaluation per iterate. That is, you have to, in the per iteration, you have to evaluate fx functional value at xn and f prime xn, that is the first derivative. Whereas the secant method requires only one function evaluation per iterate, right? Only one function, that is of fxn. So that is provided the needed functional value is retained from the last iteration. So that is the difference, major difference. And also one more important difference is that Newton's method is generally more expensive per iteration. On the other hand, Newton's method converges more rapidly because its order of convergence is 2. We have seen. And the second method has order of convergence 1.62, and consequently it will require fewer iterations to attain a given desired accuracy. So that's all about secant method. This is a very short video about secant method. Follow my next lecture on I will talk about regular falsy method and followed by fixed point iteration method. Thank you all of you.